Good morning and welcome everybody. It is Saturday morning. It is October 29th. Hey, I got the month right this time. I don't know why Joe has me do these things. He knows I suck at these intros, but it is what it is. This is Starts It Different Day. I'm Josh Hudson, filling in for Faith Enes. Joe Zollo with me, and apparently it's just going to be the two of us this week. I don't know. Maybe we'll have some special guests that'll pop in and help us answer Start Sit questions, but this is what we're doing. It's week 8. We answer all of your Start Sit questions to get you ready to get those W's. Let's hit it.
God, you suck at those. Welcome into
welcome
into Starts It Different Day. It is Saturday. I mean, that was bad. It was so bad. You can't. Whatever. It's funny. I was scrolling through Twitter while you were doing that, and I was like, oh, he'll be fine.
Nope.
Starts a different day. Folks, if it is just us, we have a hard cut at 10:50. Your boy has a work thing, so I sadly have to do that for my paying job. Once we start making loads of cash, then I can start saying no to my employer, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. As Josh mentioned, different guests that might just, slide in throughout the show. She's in vertical form.
Oh, she's back.
Oh,
hello, friends.
Now she's sideways. There we go.
Just for you, Joe.
Thank you. Are you at work?
It's a pain to try to figure this out. I am.
That is why Faith is not joining us this week. She is
correct.
She is elections Faith this week.
And next week.
Go. And next week.
Potentially the week after.
Okay.
God,
so we'll see you in 2023.
Pretty much.
Good. We'll see you for week 18.
Yeah, I'll see you for the finale show.
Yeah.
The airing of the
fantasy grievances. I'm sure you got a lot to get off your chest this year, Faith.
Yes.
And none of them have to do with fantasy football. Although, side note, I did remember to submit my 3 MFL lineups this week. So
woo!
Thank God I'm not in a fishbowl league on MFL because I would not be doing great.
Winning record in Scott Fish right here. 4-3.
Me too.
Let's go. Yeah, it's shocking.
I've won 3 in a row after a very terrible start, so I'm happy about that.
Abysmal start, Josh.
And now I've lost Alan Lazard and Mike Williams, so this is gonna be fun.
Wow, you suck.
For whom?
For the people who are gonna beat him. Stupid. Okay, injuries. Speaking of that, Jalen Hurts and Tannehill questionable. Running backs, use checks out. None of you have use check in your lineup, but a lot of you have McCaffrey, so that helps. Cam Akers, Chuba, and James Conner all out. Dang. Remember when people were saying James Conner is going to be like a top 10 running back again this year? That was cute. Maybe if you listen to a specific show that told you don't put James Conner or don't draft James Conner because he won't be because he's going to get injured again. Weird. Ezekiel Elliott, doubtful. Receivers, big names, Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, both out. Lazard, Mike Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Jahan Dotson, Kenny Golladay, Corey Davis, all out. Devontae Adams is questionable. St. Brown, questionable. Lockett, Brandon Cooks, DK Metcalf, Christian Watson, Jawan Jennings, Nico Collins, Mac Hollins. Well, that's a weird back-to-back. Noah Brown, Van Jefferson, Jamal Agnew, Nelson Agholor, all questionable. That's how it should be pronounced, in all honesty.
It sounds like Van Jefferson's going to play.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Will we finally see the death of Ben Skoranek?
Yeah.
Every time somebody says Van Jefferson, I just think of Van Wilder.
Love that movie.
Who has a higher snap share on Sunday? Van Jefferson, Allen Robinson, Ben Skoranek. I would bet so much money it's Ben Skoranek. Just saying. Tight end, David Njoku out. Should be 2 to 5 weeks for him. Dalton Schultz, Hayden Hurst, Darren Waller, Logan Thomas, all questionable. I think Hayden Hurst has had the Q tag on him this entire year, and he's played every single week. So you should be fine with...
I was honestly the only one that I'm really worried about is Waller, just because the hamstring seems to really just taken his toll this year.
Yep. And Chris Boswell is questionable too. I was like, where's Dustin Hopkins?
Even if they have him, they're not beating Philly, so I'm not that worried.
They don't even score against Philly.
Wow.
Correct.
Yeah, no.
Somebody's feeling cocky.
Well,
We're not
Listen,
the
if you were a typical Philly fan, you'd be feeling extra cocky since the Phillies took game 1.
Hey, I'm an honorary Phillies fan this World Series because fuck the Astros.
Stupid Yankees fan.
Dang.
They're the Trastros, Josh. The Trastros.
Imagine getting swept by the Astros. Couldn't
Imagine not making the playoffs. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be us.
Couldn't be me. All right, to Big Lou. Deonta Foreman or Matt? Is that Aaron Jones? Okay, listen. I can yell at you because you're my father. Specify the fucking last name when it's a top 10 common last name in the world, please.
Joe, you can yell at everybody for that question, even if
but I can yell at him.
I
can yell at him, and there's no repercussions. Maybe he just doesn't pay for my dinner one night. So, so the question is yes, Deonta Foreman, Aaron Jones. So, I mean, honestly, probably
it's a valid question in all honesty because
so basically it's just Jones. Foreman or Jones, or is it the pairing? So it's basically Foreman or Jones or Cooks.
Well, you're the grammar Nazi. What does the semicolon mean here?
So
is it two separate questions or is it a continuation of the question?
So it's Foreman or Jones or Foreman or Cooks. So why wouldn't
honestly at this point I feel like start Foreman. Cooks may not even play, so you're gonna run both running backs at this point.
So it's two different leagues. That's what I figured. Fair enough. I would start Foreman in both. There's who's stealing carries from him? Nobody.
Yeah.
Foreman in both.
Honestly, at this point, I don't think anybody's stealing carries from Aaron Jones either. AJ Dillon's done jack shit. I don't love the matchup, but at least with Lazard out, they have to throw him the football. So I think that's going to keep his
you know what's funny?
Ceiling elevated a little bit.
You know what's funny? We've been saying all season, hey, they should throw to Aaron Jones. Maybe they
finally did last week, so maybe there's a trickle-down effect here.
Yeah. No, there's not. Matt LaFleur is an idiot. Chris Gilson. Hey, everyone. Have to fill a wide receiver 2 and a flex. Peeper. Choose 2 out of these 3. Well, let's just choose one of the receivers first because obviously Darrell Henderson, if you're playing him, has to be a flex. Tyler Boyd or Adam Thielen, Josh?
I'm going both the receivers in this instance.
Me too. Faith, any input?
Do I ever have input on things of this matter? No, I always have input.
I'm just checking. Just always got to go around the horn.
Boyd is a must start, obviously, with Chase out. Henderson is an average running back anyway, and this is not a good matchup against San Francisco. We've talked about this before. Wide receiver 1s typically struggle against Arizona. It's the wide receiver 2s and the tight ends that tend to go off. I think Jefferson's fine. But I think this is a good bounce back spot for Thielen because he's only has, I think, 2 games this year over 60 yards.
From Carrington, start 2.
I'm gonna interrupt. I'm gonna ask one starts question, and then I have to go. So, the Bengals or the Patriots D?
The Bengals defense.
Yeah, I guess the Browns. Yeah, I'd go Bengals.
That's what I thought. I just wanted a confirmation. On that note, gentlemen, it's been real. It's been fun. I miss your faces. Enjoy. Everybody, make sure you go vote when it's possible in your state. On that note, bye, y'all.
Deuces. See ya. All right. Carrington, start 2. B-Rob, Antonio Gibson, Tyler Algier, or James Robinson, PPR. Josh.
PPR, I'm probably going to go Gibson over B-Rob, and I'll take Algier in a good matchup against Carolina.
I'll go those 2 as well. I don't know how they're going to use James Robinson. That's the only part that worries me. Right. Michael Carter's not a slouch, so I don't think James Robinson's going to exactly steal carries from a dude who already knows the offense. If it's PPR, Brian Robinson's basically.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Ryan and I talked about this on Monday. Gibson is a top 20 running back this year.
Yeah, it's painful.
It's flown completely under the radar because everybody's just bitching that he doesn't have a full workload. He doesn't need a full workload to be a a decent fantasy football starter. B-Rob's getting plenty of carries. That's great. But in PPR, it only matters if he falls in the end zone. Not feeling it this week.
Same people bitching, same people that told you to start Cole Kmet and draft him this year. So, Yep. Evan Gittleman, pick 3.5 PPR. Najee, Mike Carter, Chris Olave, Eno Benjamin, or DJ Moore. I'm going to say the resounding start is Chris Olave from the both of us. So who are the other two?
DJ Moore for me against the Atlanta, and I think I'm going to lean Eno. As much as I think the Eagles are going to curb stomp Philly, they are really bad against stopping the run. And I think that this could be, in a way, sort of a get-right game for Najee. But I think I'm going to lean Eno because there's literally no reason to trust Najee at this point.
Yeah, I'll probably go. I mean, they're pretty straightforward matchups this week. I'd probably go Eno as well with DJ Moore. I like Michael Carter, but the Patriots defense just always scares me. It's now more of a traditional run off our defense, offense they're playing against. Michael Carter's not exactly the number one guy they're probably going to key in on, but I still think there's a solid chance that they stop him very well. Doesn't have a great day.
Yeah, and Zach Wilson has not been throwing to running backs at all.
And that's the thing. If they were throwing to running backs, there's not a linebacker on this team that could cover Michael Carter, so I'd feel better. But there's no coverage line. There's no indication that they want to throw to the running backs. So stay away from that. Benjamin or Jacoby Myers, PPR. Josh.
I said Wednesday. I'm a little down on Jacoby. With Connor out, give me Eno.
I said it before the season that Eno Benjamin was just going to have the most points of any fantasy running back in the Cardinals' backfield this year.
Starting to trend that way.
No one else said it. So I'm going to go Eno Benjamin as well. It's not that I don't trust Jacoby Myers, but I don't exactly trust the offense right now. I really don't know the direction that they're going, and it is pissing me off because it's all over the place. There's no direction. I don't know what they're doing, and sadly, Myers falling by the wayside there. Najee or Deonta Foreman, PPR. Josh.
Foreman. This isn't even close.
Yes, it is. It is Deonta Foreman. It is not close. It's sad that your first round, again, you probably drafted him in the first round, right? There's very few people I imagine that got Najee in the second. Also, Eno Benjamin's a top 24 running back. Thank you. Deonta Foreman was signed 2 weeks ago. He wasn't even on a roster to start the season.
No, Foreman signed with Carolina in the offseason.
Okay, great. Practice squad. He wasn't on the active roster. Was he? I'm fairly
positive. They were using him and Chuba. They had both of them going, but
he was never relevant.
I mean, they were running CMC so much that Foreman really didn't get much usage, nor Hubbard, honestly.
So a guy as irrelevant as I thought he wasn't even on an NFL roster is now being delegated to your RB1 spot technically because Najee Harris and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense suck. It's Deonta Foreman, sadly. Shades. What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a bit. Standard, traded for JT. Need 2 running backs and a flex. Barkley, Kamara, JT, ETN, and Pollard. It's a really good problem to have.
Yeah.
This week. Okay. Man. Barkley, JT, Pollard, or ETN.
No, I would sit ETN this week against Denver. Plus, the London games always freak me out because they're so unpredictable. I mean, Kamara's got the Raiders, man. The Raiders' defense is not good either. And with Dalton at quarterback, he throws to Kamara, so Kamara actually gets those points there. The big thing with Kamara is he's putting up 17, 18 points a game and not scoring any touchdowns. Just imagine how good he's going to be when he finally starts hitting pay dirt.
And that's the thing is Pollard has no Zeke this week. So he's goal line carries every time.
Well, we saw how good he was last week on the goal line.
Oh, he's not good on the goal line, but
exactly.
He's getting them.
I think I would stick with the big three. I'd go Barkley, Kamara, JT.
I'd go Pollard over Kamara because fuck Kamara, but it just slided me too many times.
I knew you were going to say that too.
Yep, slided me too many times. But yeah, I mean, hey, really good problem to have in your situation. Yeah. From Lark McFlorg. Nice. Go follow the Larks at Bismarck Larks on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Pick one: Irv Smith, Taysom Hill, Mike Gesicki. We're all super big on Irv Smith. Does Taysom Hill, I don't think Gesicki changes your mind. Does Taysom Hill change your mind?
No, Taysom Hill doesn't. But it's one of those things where, and Ryan talks about this literally every week when he does his Stream of the Week column. The upside with Taysom Hill, because of how they use him, is probably greater than any tight end that you're going to be able to fit into your roster. That said, if there's any upside for anybody this week, it's Irv Smith, because Arizona is dog shit against tight ends. So I think you're safe even with the upside play with Irv Smith.
And Mike Gesicki is completely irrelevant unless someone not named Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback. Tua just doesn't want to throw to him. Gesicki's games, yes, he had a touchdown against Baltimore, but the people who've been throwing him touchdowns were Teddy and Skyler. Yep. It hasn't been Tua. Tua looks at Jalen Waddle and he looks at Tyreek Hill because he knows, I'm not a good quarterback, and if I misthrow this or underthrow this, they're fast enough to get under the ball, whereas Gesicki's 6'6", and I actually need to hit him in the chest. Thank you for agreeing, Josh.
Yep. I'm shaking my head if you can't see.
Hell yeah. Ball glove blueprint. Is starting Wan'Dale over Amon-Ra St. Brown in a PPR league the stupidest decision you can make, or potentially a difference maker in a fantasy season? Well, this might answer itself for you, but it came out Amon-Ra did not have a concussion. He should be good to go. He plays Miami, and Miami's secondary is not very good.
No, not at all.
And Detroit's at home. I am not there. You can't.
You're not sitting Amon-Ra.
I don't hate Wan'Dale Robinson this week. I'm going to be straightforward. I do not hate Wan'Dale Robinson this week. But Amon-Ra St. Brown last week, again, he gets pulled out by the independent doctor, whomever. They have to sit him the rest of the game. Gets checked for a concussion, doesn't have it, still has to sit. That still would have been an Amon-Ra St. Brown game. Detroit had to throw the entire time. They're probably going to have to throw a lot this week too. Yep. Yeah.
You get Swift back, everything is coming together now for that Detroit offense, and this is a matchup that they can exploit. And just remember back in week 1 when they put up 35 on the Eagles defense, which has been lights out all season, and that was with everybody. So Amon-Ra he's due for a big game, and homeboy's been doing it even in and out of all the injuries. He's top 6 in points per game among wide receivers right now. You're not sitting Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially a healthy Amon-Ra St. Brown. I get the appeal with Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm a fan. I think the Giants are using him, and he's only going to get better as the season progresses. This is not the week to sit Amon-Ra St. Brown if there's ever a week to sit Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He's still wide receiver 30 on the year, and he missed week 4, had a bye in week 6, and was taken out after his first catch in week 7. And he's still wide receiver 30. Now do
points per game. He shoots all the way up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm on ESPN, so I'm going with his average here. Yeah, his average puts him inside the top 10. More than guys like Pittman, AJ Brown, Olave, Gabe Davis. That is just really Gabe Davis is there. That's because of his 1,000-point blowups. Whatever.
Yeah, Amon-Ra 16.1 points per game, wide receiver 12. That's.
Yeah, okay. So here, and that's why I was hoping he would ask another question about Wan'Dale, because I'm not opposed to Wan'Dale this week. Wan'Dale or Brandon Ayuk? And I think at that point I would be okay with Wan'Dale Robinson. Because
I would be, but you know what? With Debo out, the Rams and the soft zone coverage that they're playing, like Ayuk the last couple weeks has seen a 25% target share. And the 49ers own the Rams in the regular season. Like, and you preach all the time, Jalen Ramsey's garbage.
he is.
I think Robinson has a safe floor. We haven't really truly seen a ceiling from him yet. Ayuk has a ceiling, and we've seen it.
I mean, yeah, it's fair.
I would still go Ayuk there.
I don't like Ayuk is the thing, but yes, I forgot Debo's out. My biggest question mark is we always talk about the enigma of Kyle Shanahan.
Correct.
How much just goes to Christian McCaffrey this week?
Yeah,
because,
I mean, this could very easily be like, hey, I got to show off the shiny new toy, and he sees 70% of the offensive production. Like that could very real. Well be the case. Absolutely, it could be.
And to add into, I mean, the Rams, I believe, are bottom 5 against fantasy receivers, right? They are, or might be a bottom 5 pass defense in the league, something like that. They get torched in general. The Seahawks have the 6th best fantasy defense against receivers? Really?
Yeah, they're that rookie corner that they have has been lights
He's
out.
played well.
Yeah,
he's played well. But yeah,
against
I mean,
wide receivers, the Rams are kind of middle of the road. They're 18th.
Okay.
Seahawks are 24th.
So yeah, it's
Rams do give up more out wide versus the slot though, so that favors Ayuk.
Man, I don't know. See, that's a really good and tough question. I am going to ride with the upside of Wan'Dale Robinson in the offense that has been the hottest of the two. And what just makes this better, like Kenny Galladay's out there. Tight end too. Daniel Bellinger, I believe, is also going to be out. So
yeah, he's probably going to be done for the year after getting his eye.
Yeah, after getting his eye socket punched. Robinson had 8 targets last week. He might not find the end zone, but 6 catches for 50 yards. He's going to be the short to intermediate guy that Daniel Jones is going to be looking for. So I'm okay with Wan'Dale over Brandon Ayuk. Deonta Foreman or Tony Pollard in a flex? Now, this is a very good question. Foreman, obviously, nobody really stealing his carries, and Pollard, same thing.
Yeah.
But Foreman obviously has the better matchup.
Yeah, for me, this boils down to ceiling and floor. I'm going to take Foreman for the floor, and I'll take Pollard for the ceiling. It also kind of depends on settings, too. Like, if it's PPR, I might lean Pollard. If it's half or standard, I would lean Foreman. And knowing Mike, it's probably PPR, so I think I would go the ceiling route with Pollard.
Yeah, I would also go Pollard at this point if it's PPR standard, 100% Foreman. He's good for a couple big rips against Atlanta, and I don't think Carolina is going to disguise.
And he's run really well the last couple of years too.
Deonta Foreman, when he came into the league as a Houston Texan, everyone thought he was going to be a very good running back.
2,000-yard back at Texas. I mean, and then he tore his Achilles, and everything went
downhill. Yeah, he looked great like the first.
It's taken him 5 years to get back up to speed. That should tell you all you need to know when it comes to Cam Akers and James Robinson. That's all I'm going to say.
Do not slight my boy James Robinson. Okay,
hey, I'm just saying.
Dude,
done much the last few weeks.
Yeah, because dude got freaking screwed by Urban Meyer drafting Travis Etienne in the first round. Just saying. Albert Marroquin. What up, Albert? Pick 2. Etienne, Stevenson, Mostert, full PPR. I think Stevenson's the automatic.
Correct.
Now between Mostert and Etienne.
I think even with the PPR, I'm still going to go Mostert here. Like I've been saying, Denver is a tough matchup. It's on the road in London. I know those are kind of home games for Jacksonville, but this is Etienne's first trip over there, and you never know how that time change is going to wreak havoc on people, especially if they've never made that trip. Mostert has a dream matchup against Detroit. They cannot stop a nosebleed on defense. My only trepidation with starting Mostert is because Ryan
guaranteed
scored 2 touchdowns, and that has never worked for him at all. It's literally why I've gone through in most of my leagues and picked up Chase Edmonds as an insurance because I'm just waiting for the jinx. But I would lean Stevenson and Mostert here.
I will also go Stevenson and Mostert. You have to at that point. It's the worst defense in the league. My brother Pickens, Dubs, J-Rob, Renfro, Zay Jones, Latavius Murray, pick 2 PPR.
Definitely not Pickens. Definitely not Dobbs. Those matchups are not it.
Zay Jones, same thing.
Zay Jones, none of these matchups are really good. Honestly, I'd probably go Murray and Renfro at this point, even though I have like zero trust in Renfro. Excuse me.
He asked me this question without Latavius Murray in there. And I said Renfro as well, because everyone has bad matchups. J-Rob, you don't know how they're going to use him. And
there's just a lot of questions.
At this point, is Latavius Murray the RB1 for the Denver Broncos?
Feels like it. Like they're trotting out Gordon as like an honorary start and then just giving all the carries to Murray. It's ridiculous.
Who, granted, Murray looks better than Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, and I mean, if they're just going to keep running inside zones on 1st and 2nd and long, Latavius Murray's going to have a lot of carries this week. So, yeah, I like Latavius Murray. I'm plugging him in one of my leagues because Austin Eckler is on a bye. So, McSweet, Foreman, or Eno Benjamin, Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to go Eno here. I do, like I said, like we've talked about, I do like Foreman. And I believe he asked me this question on Instagram a little earlier this week, and I said Foreman. But remembering that it's PPR, I think I'm going to go Eno, especially now that Connor has officially been ruled out. I'll take Eno over Foreman.
I will go Eno Benjamin, my guy, for the Cardinals backfield at the beginning of the year. Eno Benjamin. Isaac, Aaron Jones for Swift. Who do you like better?
Swift.
I mean,
I have zero trust in that Green Bay offense. Honestly, the only thing you really worry about with Swift is the injuries because it's literally been every single year. But his efficiency this year has been off the charts. So much better than the first 2 years, too. Yeah, I'm going to take Swift. Hopefully, he's already had the one injury for the season and he's good to go for the rest of the year, but you never know. So
I know he's only played in like 2 games, but he's RB7 in terms of average points per game.
Yeah.
And he has not played the last 4 weeks, including 1 week with a bye, and he's still RB40.
Yeah.
Like, again, in the weeks he played, 26.5 points. He had 5 carries against Washington and scored 16 points.
Yeah. He's really good.
Doesn't miss. Absolutely doesn't miss. Another one. Eno, Thielen, Deontay Johnson. Pick one. It's between Eno and Thielen. So,
yeah, you're not starting Deontay, and that's coming from the ultimate Deontay truther. Give me Eno. I do like Thielen, but give me Eno.
Eno Benjamin. These ones are pretty straightforward this week. There's not too many discrepancies simply based on we're getting a lot of the same questions of players with bad matchups and players behind them who are still playing well this year. But you're like, really? Can I start them over this guy? Yes, you can. Joe, pull off a trade for Kelsey this week. Need a tight end streamer.
Winner there. Yeah. I don't care what you gave up.
Options are Dulcich, Evan Ingram. It's Irv Smith. We don't even need to go through the rest of the group.
It's Irv Smith. He is going to smash this week.
Yeah, Irv Smith. I ended up picking him up in one of my leagues because David Njoku is out. So I put Njoku on the IR and slid Irv Smith into my starting lineup. And it also helps that I have T. Higgins in this league as well, which is looking better this week. And I reluctantly, against my will, picked up Paris Campbell. It's going to
see how he was definitely trending up with Matt Ryan. The switch to Ellinger, I'm kind of in a holding pattern with Campbell at this point.
Well, here's your start sit question here. So, would you start Paris Campbell, Najee Harris, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, James Robinson, Jacoby Myers?
Probably go Sutton.
Really?
Yeah, I'd probably go Sutton.
In the
as bad as Russell has been, Sutton's been the only consistent option on that offense. So
yeah, the London game scares me.
I get that, but there's really nothing on that Jacksonville defense that scares me.
Yeah, but like Russ was doing high knees on the plane there, so like,
look, we've got to deal with him going full Kanye here and just accept it and whatever. It's kind of where I'm at. So
yeah, I'd rather die at the hands of Sutton than Paris Campbell. You're right. Fuck Paris Campbell. That dickhead. I drafted him in Dynasty, injured for 17 straight years. Joe, you should have held on to Paris Campbell. What are you doing? No, fuck you. Also, it was like the year I let go of DJ Chark after his rookie year. Year 2 blows up.
Yep.
You have now zero
patience.
Yeah.
Zero.
Hey, Eno Benjamin, sniff that one out from a mile away.
Yeah,
Shut up.
did.
I sniffed that one out.
You held on to him. Kudos.
Sniff that one out. I stole Ramondre Stevenson from Chris for a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
That was a steal. I'm in a weird spot. I'm in a weird spot because my team is now for some reason scoring points, and I'm really confused by it.
You just lost Jamar Chase.
Just lost Jamar Chase, but that's okay. My starting receivers will be Hunter Renfrow and Olamide Zaccheaus this week.
Oof.
I like Zaccheaus against Carolina. I was like, who has the most upside? I think Zaccheaus can get in the end zone against Carolina. But
if they throw more than 13 times.
Listen, do you want to talk about the ultimate, and I mean the ultimate, stick to your guns? Jonathan Taylor, Eno Benjamin, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, all in my starting lineup. Piled on the running backs. And you can't even tell me that any of them are bad starts this week.
No, not at all.
Because my receivers are... Zay Jones has a bad matchup. If Zay Jones had ever been matchup, I'd play Zay Jones. Kendrick Bourne, George Pickens, bad matchup.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, out. So, like, in any given week, Jamar Chase...
running backs, yeah.
Yeah, Jamar Chase
and that's what's unique
receivers.
with that league is that you only have to start one at every position, and then there's a whole bunch of flexes.
Yeah, and then also I have my boy, Tim Patrick, IR, my guy. What could have been? That's the reason Denver's not winning. Tim Patrick. Okay,
Patrick goes down, so goes their season.
Deontay Myers, Elijah Moore. Ooh, that is.
Yeah, a lot of not great matchups here.
Myers,
if Elijah Moore had done anything up to this point, I'd probably go him. But give me Myers.
Myers because the volume, like Elijah Moore. I think I said it on Wednesday. The only good part about the Patriots for their defense, Jack Jones and Jonathan Jones, I don't think allowed a single catch. Now, granted, shitty receivers, but Jalen Mills allowed catches. Miles Bryant allowed catches to high school level receivers. They were tight in coverage the whole time, and when they were playing zone, they were fine. Elijah Moore is a speedster. Jonathan Jones runs a 4.3, and Jack Jones has speed in him as well. He's not going to be able to outrun him, and if he's lined up against either one of them, I don't like the matchup. Myers is just going to have the volume. Deontay Johnson's going against Darius Slay. Sorry.
Or James Bradbury. Shit.
I will never give James Bradbury credit ever in my life. Would you still stream Irv Smith if you were starting Dalvin? 100% yes. A tight end starting a tight end and a running back of the same team should never worry you, in my opinion. Yeah. It should never worry you.
Starting 2 wide receivers, yes.
Starting 2 wide receivers. I mean, you could even argue a wide receiver and a running back, but even then, like I paired all my teams this year. Well, RIP Javonte Williams, but I paired him with Cortland Sutton, DeAndre Swift, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and at the time, Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. Yeah. I don't care. I was just high on
2 options on each offense. I mean,
yeah. No, do not be scared. Do not be scared. Irv Smith will have a good week. Ball Glove Blueprint. Again, PPR. Pick 1 receiver and 1 flex. DJ Moore, Wan'Dale Robinson, Brian Robinson, Eno, Benjamin. We're getting a lot of Eno questions this week, and I'm here for it. Josh.
I would go DJ Moore and Eno. again, I like Wandale. DJ Moore he came to life last week, and this is another really good matchup for him. I said it on Wednesday. I've got PJ Walker as the top 12 QB this week, so I'm all on board DJ again this week.
All DJ Moore needed was a quarterback to realize, oh my goodness,
PJ Walker, the GOAT.
he is open on every play,
right?
I should
throw him the football.
Oh, PJ Walker, we love him. DJ Moore, Nino Benjamin. In a PPR, Brian Robinson is absolutely irrelevant. Unless you physically need to start him, he's completely irrelevant.
He's a decent flex if you don't have quality starters.
I'm going to say this is Zay Jones, Myers, or Renfro.
That'd be my guess, yeah.
Myers, reluctantly.
Yeah, I'm trying to shy away from Renfro until we physically see how he's going to be used. And I feel like it's fallen by the wayside for a couple of reasons. One, the trio of Waller, Renfro, and Adams really have not all been healthy this year. But Jacobs has just taken off, and it has just kind of made Renfro irrelevant at this point because they're able to gain so many yards just on the ground that they don't need to do those, short dump offs to the slot guy.
This is a really good show you should listen to throughout the offseason because the Raiders in the offseason, Josh Jacobs.
And I'm all on board that train.
One of our guys. Jeb, Deonta Foreman in the flex standard, and I think we know we're both going to go here. It's going to be Deonta Foreman because of the
correct,
because of a standard. Okay,
correct.
Other people that might have this question too, because I'm sure
we've had a lot of Eno and Foreman questions. A lot of them.
Standard, Foreman, PPR,
Correct.
There's your evergreen answer for that. Tua or Kirk Cousins? Tua against the worst defense in the NFL, Detroit. Kirk Cousins home against Arizona. Josh.
The floor play is Kirk Cousins. If you need a safe 20 points or 18, I guess, if it's, 4-point per passing touchdown leagues, I would take Cousins. I still believe that the upside lies with Tua simply for the matchup and because of the weapons that he has. I know last week was a little rocky, him sort of getting back into the groove. He does only have one game this year with more than one touchdown pass, though. So there is some worry there. But again, we haven't seen Kirk Cousins 469 and 6 touchdowns. That's why I say the upside lies with Tua. Depending on how the rest of your roster is structured, I would probably go Cousins. But if you're chasing points because maybe you win against Lamar Jackson or, they happen to throw in Isaiah Likely last minute, then run the upside with Tua.
Cousins. Tua is bad. You just brought up the stat. No more than one touchdown except for one game where he exploded for 6. And it's weird. It's almost like someone said after that game, bad quarterbacks can have good games.
Yeah, I mean, they can. It's true.
Dang. I wonder who said that and is looking really, really good on that take right now. Weird.
Look, if he's so bad, the Dolphins wouldn't be 4-0 in their starts, especially with that defense. That's all.
How many points did they score in the second half against Pittsburgh and New England?
Well, they didn't need to.
How many points did they score? Just wondering on offense.
Hey, there's been plenty of games where Philly hasn't scored any points in the second half of games. It doesn't make them bad.
Yeah, because they're up 28-5.
Okay.
The Dolphins are up by 4 points. What do you mean? Philly's actually winning football games convincingly. The Dolphins are up by a touchdown. Tua is so bad. Mick Curley, Wolf. Hell yeah. Rest of the season, thoughts on Kamara, JT. Well, at this point, Jonathan Taylor is now option 1, 2, and 3 because Sam Ehlinger's the quarterback, unless Sam Ehlinger turns out to be, 2006 Rose Bowl Vince Young, some 06, 05, something like that. Unless he turns out to be that for his, entire career or just at least this season. Jonathan Taylor should have a very good rest of the season. His just interior offensive line is bad. And I hate to say it. If Andy Dalton's going to be dump city like Drew Brees was, Kamara's going to have 1,000 catches. And if Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry don't fucking play, Alvin Kamara is going to have 1,000,000 catches. So he's just not going to find the end zone because of Taysom Hill. That's all. Anything to add?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Kamara here. Just that Colts offensive line has not been the Colts offensive line that we've known for the last couple of years.
Bad.
And I feel like that in a way too is getting into JT's head. But at the like he's still efficient. I think what was it last game? He had 10 carries for 58 yards. Like you give me 5.8 yards per carry from a running back, I'm going to take that all game. The problem is they're just not giving him the volume to make it last. Like he had the 7 catches last week. Great. Awesome. They're at least throwing JT the football. So to me, it boils down to QB play. We don't know right now what Sam Ehlinger is. And you know what? He could ultimately come out this week and be absolutely terrible. And then in 3 weeks be really good and say, you know what? Maybe that's the Sam Ehlinger we get. I think you're going to have a lot of ebbs and flows. It's going to be a roller coaster ride with Ehlinger. Right now, I'm going to lean Kamara, but it's not like Kamara and then JT way down here. Like it's probably about like that. I think both are going to be fine. So,
yep. Real quick, everybody, we have a hard stop at 11:50. Sorry, I'm thinking Eastern time. 11:50 Eastern time. So we have about 9 minutes left. Make sure to get any of your last-minute questions in here. We're going to fly through some of these. McSweet Ram says he's trying to trade for Hunt and Brandon Cooks. The Hunt trade makes sense. The Brandon Cooks one doesn't. So, do you
well, I mean, look, the Rams do need a field stretcher. Like bringing back Brandon Cooks could maybe potentially save that offense.
Yeah.
I say potentially because to me, that's what this offense is truly lacking. They don't have a deep threat that can take pressure off of the running game, off of Cooper.
That's Van Jefferson
passing.
He's back this week.
He's not that level of deep threat, though, in my opinion.
I don't know. They're going to give up a
Hunt could make sense, but again, to me, Hunt falls below the I need a wide receiver as a field stretcher. They need some offensive line help too, but that's another question.
They're going to give up a second-round pick to barely fucking make the playoffs.
They don't even have a second-round pick.
Okay, they're going to give up a 2027 first-round pick because they literally don't have any picks. Sean McVay is literally just playing Madden franchise and getting rid of all of his future picks for just studs. And just praying to God it works. Another one from Blueprint. DJ Moore, Ayuk, Eno, PPR, flex.
Ooh. I'm going to lean more.
My dog.
I do like Ayuk and I do like Eno. I just... that Atlanta matchup is so juicy for DJ Moore. Give me DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore as well. Scampers, half PPR, Boyd, Devonta, or Gabe Davis. I'd find a way to get Boyd and Devonta Smith into your lineup. Screw Gabe Davis.
Yeah, that's the thing with Gabe. You could get 35 points, but you could also get 4 points. Like there really is not much of an in-between for Gabe Davis. Boyd is 100% for me, especially with Chase out.
Okay. From Brian. Alec Pierce still play for you guys. Would you drop for someone else? Duvernay is a free agent for him. 10-team league. It's really up in the air with the quarterback situation.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a holding pattern with Pierce. If you feel like you need like a plug and play for a bye week, then yeah, go ahead, grab Duvernay. I don't think the Ravens are on a bye for another couple weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And I know Pierce and the Colts have week 14 bye. I don't think you're really rushing to start Pierce, but again, I don't know what your lineup looks like. Duvernay, they're using him a lot on end arounds, and he's getting the ball in his hands. And obviously, you have the upside of return touchdowns. He's the only player in the NFL right now that has a return touchdown. So there's that threat as well. There's definitely more upside there because I can't imagine that Sam Ehlinger is going to throw the football 40 times the way that Matt Ryan was, and that's going to cut down Pierce's target share.
Ravens have a bye not next week because they already played, but the week after. So
okay, so week 10.
Yeah, and they have an extra long week. They play Monday night against the Saints, so they have an extra long week this week.
And a bye after that. Wow, good.
Yeah, and a bye after that. Scampers, half PPR need 2, Singletary, Eno, and Kittle. Eno's the automatic.
Correct.
I feel good about Singletary against the Packers.
I do too. I want to see what Kittle's done against San Francisco.
Against San Francisco, he has actually done nothing. I was to say, because Kittle looked good last week.
Kittle's been, the last few weeks he's getting his groove back.
When he's healthy, man.
All right, 10 games against the Rams. Last couple not so great. The 3 before that, 5 for 79 touchdown, 7 for 109 and a touchdown, 5 for 50 and a touchdown. I mean, he's done well against them.
Yeah.
With Debo out, I mean, I think I would shy away from Kittle this week only because I want to see how much they're going to ingrain CMC into that offense. And I think Singletary is a solid pivot there, in my opinion.
My question is, who the hell are you have as your starting tight end to put Kittle in your flex? So,
I could be Goddard, could be Andrews potentially. I mean, maybe Scampers went with like a bully tight end.
Oh yeah, no, it's
there's definitely options there. Maybe he's streaming Irv Smith.
Yeah, hey, congratulations. I'll go Eno and Singletary just for the hard points there. It's a half PPR too, so you're getting closer to a standard.
Correct.
Singletary makes more sense. Trey, Colts defense or Pats defense? Colts defense against Washington. I don't love the Colts defense, but it is.
Heineke's prone to mistakes.
Oh, yeah. I would go Colts defense. New York hasn't looked great, but yeah, Colts defense definitely has more upside. Clutch plays half PPR. Eckler and Devonta Smith for Tyreek and Jonathan Taylor.
You could not convince me to trade Austin Eckler right now.
No. You keep Austin Eckler and Devonta Smith on your team. Is Tyreek an upgrade? Yes. But Devonta Smith has been way more consistent and is still scoring a lot of points for you. Eckler, God no.
At this point, I feel like you're just paying for the name of Jonathan Taylor.
I think so too. Yeah, and man, like I wouldn't do it. In any scenario, I think I wouldn't do it. Eckler has just been so good, and like Herbert is not wanting to throw the football down the field. It is dump city to this guy.
Well, even that, who are they throwing downfield to right now? I mean,
right now nobody.
For 4 weeks, yeah.
Right now nobody, but like even before, what was Mike Williams doing down the field?
Not a ton. Yeah, they throw him a few 50-50 balls, but dude, Austin Eckler is on pace for 129 receptions this year. That is dumb for running back. which is, I believe, 20 more than what McCaffrey had in his record-setting season. I think so. Yeah.
It's just, oh my god, he's out of control.
Yeah, he's out of control this year.
So
for everybody that thought he was going to regress, we kind of assumed that the touchdowns might come down. But even at this point, the last 4 weeks, because he did start a little slow and he got going against Houston, and it's been take off since.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely
he may even top last year's touchdowns at this point.
Absolutely crazy. All right, friends, we have a hard out right now. Thank you, everybody. This is a solid, consistent week with not too many overwhelming questions. We appreciate it. If you do have any questions, just DM either one of us.
You DM one of us. Feel free to. You can always comment on the video after the fact as well. We always get those alerts. I always answer those questions. So.
And two, you can just also add us on Twitter. You can DM the Club Fantasy handle as well at Club Fantasy FFL if you have any questions. Because some things will change. Obviously, some of these guys we talked about do have injuries, like Brandon Cooks. So those questions may change within the next 24 hours. Okay. Dang, you can follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL is clubfantasyffl.com. Start sit different day, same time, same place next week. We always do this You're welcome, Mr. Scampers. We're glad to have you on. Josh, hit the video.
Oh yeah, I gotta cue that up. Cool.
Oh my God, this idiot! Does he know I have to do things?